This video is on the objective calculate a confidence interval for the mean with population standard deviation unknown with your calculator. Now you're probably asking, hey, I've already seen an objective like this. And you have, but in those questions you were just given statistics, you were just given certain information about the sample, like the sample mean, the sample standard deviation, and whatnot. This particular objective, you're going to be given an entire list of data and enter a data list into your calculator and then have it, using that sample, determine a confidence interval for the mean. All right, and it's with the population standard deviation unknown, right? Sigma's unknown, so we're using, the student's t distribution with so many degrees of freedom as opposed to the standard normal, right? You're using t scores instead of z scores. All right, and this is number one. All right, this is the first video on a question like this. I'm probably going to get to a second one as well. All right, so again, if you're unfamiliar with this, you want to see how they're doing it, go to more instruction, read up on how they're doing this with the calculator. So here, a random sample of 10 employees for the Department of Health and Human Services has the following salaries in thousands of dollars. So here's your sample. So one employee, $72,000, $71,000, $66,000. You got your 10 employees' salaries here, a sample of size 10. So assuming normality, use TI-83 or 84 to find a 98% confidence interval for the true population mean salary. Right? We're going to try to guess. Get a confidence interval for what do we think the mean of the whole population, right, of all the employees at the Department of Health and Human Services, their average salary is. Round your answers to 2 decimal places and use increasing order, right? The low value first, then the high value second. All right, so this time, right, we're not given a sample mean. We're not given X bar. We're not given the sample standard deviation. We're not given S. The only thing we know are N, right, the 10, and the actual values of the sample. Now you could find, add them up, divide by 10. There's your sample mean. Then subtract the sample mean from all these, and get the deviations. Square all those, add all those deviations squared up. Then divide by 9, divide by n minus 1, get the sample standard deviation, and take the square root. Right? You can do all that, but it'll take forever. What we're going to do here is enter this list. Right? So pull the calculator up, and hopefully you remember how to enter a list of data. Right? So remember, you go stat, hit stat, go edit, and then I'll just go down L1 and enter these salaries. 72, 71, 66, 71, 69, 71, 72, 69, 70, and 71. So there's your 10 salaries in thousands of dollars, the sample of size 10 listed there. And then I get out of this, and we're going to have the calculator create a 98% confidence interval estimate for the true population mean salary. So remember how we did that before? We go stat, then over to tests. And we're making a confidence interval for a mean, but we don't know sigma. So remember z interval is when I know sigma. You're using z scores. T interval, number 8, is when you don't know sigma and are using, t scores, student's t distribution. So I go to t interval, and now this time I don't know the stats. I don't have the stats. I have data. I have just a list of data. So I go to data, hit enter there, blacken that out, and then, okay, what's your list of data? Now it's already L1. I already have my list down L1, but if you want L2, hit second, then 2. If you want L3, hit second, then 3. Whatever list number you had it down. I just had them down list 1. Frequency. Now there is no frequency list here, right? Each of these values is counted one time, has a frequency of 1. So I'll just leave the frequency list as 1 here. And then what's the confidence level? Well, they said they wanted us to find the 98% confidence interval. All right, so 0.98, and you have to enter that as a decimal. 0.98. And then just calculate. And it gives you the mean, right? Sample mean was 70.2. Sample standard deviation 1.8135. That gives you those things. The size was 10. But the top stuff's the most important. There's your confidence interval. The low value, which would be, x bar minus the margin of error, 68.582. And the high value would be the x bar 70.2 plus the margin of error, 71.818. So what we're saying here is that we're 98% confident based on this sample. We'd be 98% confident saying that the mean salary for all the employees in the Department of Health and Human Services is between $68,500 and $71,800. But I'm going to enter these values. Again, rounded to two, they said 2 decimal places. Okay. So the low end of this interval is 68.58 thousand. And the high end, the upper value is 71.82, right? If I round to 2 decimal places, 71.82. That's it. Very quick and easy. I think the longest part here was entering that list of data. Submit. Fantastic. And again, go through, read the answer explanation, read what they did, especially if you got it wrong. All right, read through the answer explanation, see if you can figure out what went wrong, where you went wrong. That's it. All right, so hopefully this was a nice guide for you. It helps you out when you're working on this kind of a problem on your own. And thank you very much for watching.